Hey everybody, it is Tanya Bugby with Tanya Bugby Coaching and Consulting, and I have decided to go live. It's impromptu, no notice. I've been pacing around my house for 2 days, and I need to do something constructive because the pacing is great for steps, but it's not great for growing my business. So here we are. So the reason I've been pacing my house and up and down my hallway for 2 full days is my daughter's in labor, and she's still in labor, and I'm at home waiting for updates, and it's killing me. So here I am. So you're going to kind of suffer through this with me or enjoy some time with me as I distract myself. And so anybody hops in, please distract me. I'm super excited. And it's been 2 days. So sometimes I get a little worried, and then I'll get an update, and that's awesome. I feel better. It's not about me. It's all about my baby having a baby. I get that. So, however, she's still my baby. And so my mama bear is on full alert. All right, so let's switch topics. And if anybody is hopping on, please let me know you're here. Put a comment in the comments so I know you're here, and let's have a chat. So business, my real estate clients, my other business owners, my others are all really working hard on Q2. Q1 was good for most. So for my real estate agents, I encourage them to be at either 60 if they're new to me, 70% if they're not new to me, so a year or older. So I want them to be at 60 or 70% of their transactional goal in their pipeline by the end of March. And what that means is whatever I want to close 20 homes by the end of the year. I want them to be at 60 or 70% of that in their pipeline by the end of March. It doesn't mean sold. It could be a potential. It could be an active. It could be somebody in the pending category, like under contract, and closed. So if we count up those four categories, and let's just say 70% for them might be 12, if they can count 12, they're great. And if they're not, say that they're at 10 or 9, then they have a hunting number, right? They need to hunt for 3 more. And so in February, March, to be at that number by the end of March, they're hunting. And we come up with very specific tactics for each one of my clients on what that hunting is going to look like. I am so specific with my clients that coaching is not a one size fits all. So hunting might be networking for one client. Hunting might be calling and reaching out to past clients because they have 150 past clients in their database or other people in their database. So they're going to be reaching out to them and asking them, who do you know, and checking in. How's the house? Do you need anything now that spring is here? And so that might be a great way to hunt for one client, and another one might be going out and joining or digging deeper with a networking group, but they're clearly out there hunting so that they're at 60 or 70% of their transactional goal in their pipeline. And I have most of my clients celebrating that they are. And that's super exciting to me because I know they're going to hit their goal. And it's super exciting for them, especially if they're newer and they've reached that number. They've never done that before. And so that is confidence building. So if we go into confidence, right? I don't know if I can do this again. I don't know how I'm going to get to my goal. However, once we start just focusing on that first quarter and being at that 60 or 70%, and now here we are, into April, and they can say, yay, oh my gosh, I'm at 60 or 70%. The confidence just goes from here to here that, yes, I am going to do just fine this year. And then we do it again year after year. And hopefully, with most, we grow that number and grow their goal. And for some people, no, they're very happy where they're at. They're very happy with being at a certain number every year. And then we just see how we can streamline it. We can see how we can make it more efficient, more effective, so that they can have more time off. Maybe that's the time to hire an assistant. So I'm super excited for my clients who are hitting those numbers. And then my non-realtor clients, my others, right? Many have exceeded their Q1. They look at Q1 last year and they look at the end of Q1 today, and they're like, oh my gosh, I made $150,000 more this quarter. That's, again, super amazing. And we do that by having tactics for each quarter. So by now, since we're already into April 11th, that most everybody I coach has a roadmap for Q2. And it depends on the business. And again, it depends on my client and their comfort level and what they're going to do. I can't make them go out and do stuff. So, gosh, I guarantee they're going to hit their number if they actually do the action steps. So, what happens when a client doesn't hit their action steps? What happens when a client goes sideways for 2 weeks? Say we have 2 weeks in between a coach call, which is common for about 50% of my clients. Some of my clients coach once a week. So, I have one client that we coach every Monday at 10 a.m., and that sets them up for the week. It's a little harder for her to go sideways, but some of my clients are every other week, and that's their choice, and that's great. And so it takes, they have more time to go sideways, and then they get on a coach call and say, wow, it's been 2 weeks and I've just gone sideways and haven't done anything. And that does happen. So we work on a couple things. One, they all know they can do SOS calls with me. So if they are sideways more than 4 or 5 days, I encourage them to call me so I can help them get back on track. What demotivated them, what might motivate, I'm going to start over again. What might motivate them better going forward, right? So next time they get derailed, let's try a different tactic to get you back on track. And yeah, they have me. And so there's grace in there. Like right now, my focus level on growing my business the last 2 days is probably on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being perfect. I'm probably a 3. But I'm here, so maybe I'm a 4. I'm thoroughly distracted with my daughter being in the labor and delivery room. However, I know that's only going to be for a day or two more, and I'll be back on track. Yes, I have a new grandbaby to play with. However, I'm pretty good at setting my boundaries and being back on track. So sometimes a life event happens, and it's okay. We give each other grace. I'm certainly giving myself grace through this life event. And then there's other times I don't know if it's hormones or we just got some bad news and we just stay off track. So we work on tactics to, like a tactic for a motivational plan when we are off track. So we work on that. I give them grace. We start over. Sometimes we have to double up on some of those tactics if we want to stay, growing those numbers. If we get off track a lot, we're not going to hit the goal. And that's just me giving it to them right between the eyes. If Q2 is going to be a quarter of being off track, unless we double up on activities and tactics and strategies for Q3, we may not hit that goal. So I try to keep that off track days as short as possible. And there's some accountability there about SOS calls so that I can help. And if they're going to keep waiting for 2 weeks, we're going to have a conversation around that. So what do they do to get back on track, right? We got to look at their end goal. We got to look at why it's important to them, what's important to them, and there might be more than one thing. What else is important to you to hit this goal? We might need to really reconnect our mindset and our heart set. Like, how does it feel to be looking at the end of December and seeing that number that you want? What are the feelings around it? And also, what are your thoughts? Like, yes, I have college fund money. I have a new investment property money in the bank. So what are your thoughts and feelings around what's important to you? We definitely need to reconnect to what's important and what else might be important. So that's a first step. It's also what are you going to do this week and what's important with this week? And sometimes it's a why or a purpose just for the week, and keeping that on a Post-it note on your desktop. So that oh yeah, that's it. That's what's important to me. This is what I want to get done this week. This is what's going to get me to be able to do the next step of tactics if I get this one done. So reconnecting with it, not just putting it on a to-do list and then throwing it on the side of the desk. So we reconnect on the shorter whys and what's important. We obviously reconnect with the bigger whys and what's important. Sometimes we do a guided meditation on a coach call, and that gets them recentered with their inner leaders and kind of dumping the saboteur voices that are in their head. I tell you, I cannot coach saboteurs. And when they come to the coach call, I'm like, we need to dump these, and I need to find your strong inner leader so that we can move forward. And so sometimes it is a guided meditation. Sometimes it's just, hey, what are you going to do to dump these saboteurs that are living and swirling around in your head, giving me a bunch of bullshit excuses? Let's get rid of the excuses and talk about what the possibilities are going forward. We're going to be way more effective in our coach calls. So yes, that sounds a little harsh. I'm not here to buy excuses. My clients don't pay me to buy their excuses. And so when I say, let's get rid of the bullshit excuses and what are we going to do going forward? What do we need to do to stop the distractions? What do we need to do to keep you focused on what's important? What are we going to do With some of my clients might be they're focusing so much on working in the business and serving their clients, which is great. That's a 9 out of a 10, 9.9. Serve your clients. But sometimes it's the paperwork, and the paperwork stuff we can delegate out or we can do later in the evening. However, I don't want you to skip out on your networking event or going out and visiting some clients or having lunch with a client or a bunch of business owners or doing some videos, right? That might be a little bit more challenging to do at 9 o'clock at night. But after the kids have gone to sleep, things have calmed down, sure, go do the paperwork. However, what's causing a client to do paperwork, at 3 in the afternoon where we could be meeting clients, networking, doing those kind of things? So we kind of reprioritize the day and we coach around that and we look at the days. So getting back on track from the funk is common. I really don't like pull out the whip. There is a lot of grace. However, there's my dogs. However, getting back on track is important, and finding out, how we're going to put those guardrails in going forward so it doesn't happen again or not as often. Okay, so I came on live, wanted to just get distracted a little bit. You helped me get distracted. If you got any questions about coaching or where my clients are, my real estate professionals, my others, I coach a roofer, a landscaper, a gal that does, stationery, a financial planner. I coach a corporate executive at a Fortune 500 company, which I'm not allowed to say. So if you know of anybody that needs some coaching help, or they just want to have a complimentary coach call, I had one today. I promise it's not salesy, it's not sleazy. I will listen to what your challenges are and we'll work through, and hopefully when we hang up, you have some solid new insight and strategies and tactics to add to your roadmap. And if you want to ask me about my coaching program, great. And if you don't, that's okay. Again, it's not pushy, salesy, or sleazy. So please, if you or anybody that would like just to hang out with me for an hour and check out what might the possibilities be, I'm all in. All right, I am going to end this live. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate my clients. I know a lot of you, watch these. And so if you are, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support. All right, let's go check my cell phone and see if there's any more baby news.